I found men's protection in my wife's bag. I put inside a pepper spray. Cheating. It was the sound of metal against tile that caught my attention, a small, sharp clink from the bathroom floor. She was in the shower, steam rising, water humming, and something had fallen from her purse. I glanced down. A small foil packet, silver, reflective, men's protection. I stared at it for a long time, too long. It didn't belong there. We hadn't used any in years. She was on pills, at least, that's what she said. For a moment I just stood still, watching the condensation drip down the mirror. My reflection stared back at me, expressionless, calm, dissecting the moment like an autopsy. The packet lay between her lipstick and car keys. One small piece of evidence, silent, unmistakable. Behind the shower curtain, she was humming some meaningless tune. I picked up the packet, turned it over in my hand, and then placed it back exactly where it had fallen. My heartbeat didn't rise. My breath didn't change. I just stopped feeling. When she stepped out moments later, wrapped in a towel, she smiled at me. Soft, practiced, familiar. "Everything okay?" she asked. I smiled back. Perfect. She didn't notice that my eyes didn't blink. That night I sat in silence while she scrolled through her phone beside me. The faint glow of the screen danced across her face. Her lips moved in micro-expressions, tiny, involuntary smiles. Someone was making her smile like that, and it wasn't me. She laughed quietly at something she didn't want me to hear. Then she turned off the phone and leaned her head against my shoulder, pretending to be tired. Pretending. I didn't move, didn't breathe. Her phone buzzed once on the nightstand. She ignored it. The name flashed briefly. Asan. Work. Work. Always work. Always late nights, new projects, new clients. I had believed that once, but not now. The condom in her bag, the secretive smiles, the sudden need for privacy. They weren't coincidences. They were choreography, meticulously rehearsed deceit. Still, I said nothing. Instead, I memorized every detail, her words, her tone, her schedule. When she fell asleep, I stared at her for hours. The innocence in her face was almost convincing. Almost. I opened her purse again, quietly. The packet was still there. I held it in my palm. Then I slipped something else inside, a small pepper spray canister I kept in the car. A symbol. A quiet test. Let's see if she notices. Let's see what she does when the balance shifts. Days passed. I moved through them like a shadow. Same smile, same routine, same husband. But inside, I was dissecting everything. She started leaving earlier for meetings. Her perfume was different. Her laughter more alive when she thought I wasn't listening. I checked her car GPS. Twice, she stopped at a small motel on the edge of the city, a place people go to disappear for an hour. I didn't follow her. Not yet. Instead, I prepared. Quietly. Methodically. I copied her contacts from the phone backup, extracted messages from her cloud storage. Most deleted. But not all. There was a chat thread with Asan. Work. Work apparently had feelings. And a wife of its own. He called her baby. She called him mine. Each word felt surgical, cutting through old trust, clean and cold. I didn't rage. Rage is noisy, predictable. I preferred silence. That night when she came home, I asked about her day. She kissed my cheek. Told me how exhausting clients were. Then went to shower. I opened her purse again. The packet was gone, but the pepper spray I placed there was still inside, unused, untouched. She didn't even notice it. Her hands had reached in, taken what she needed, and left the rest. That was all the confirmation I needed. I wasn't married to her anymore. I was studying her, like a subject under glass. And soon, she'd see the reflection of what she'd made me become. It took 3 weeks to collect everything. Phone records, photos, the motel logs, messages. Evidence doesn't lie. People do. I printed it all, sealed it in an envelope, and placed it on the kitchen table one evening. She came home humming, distracted, kissed my cheek out of habit. Then she saw the envelope. "What's this?" "Read it," I said. Her eyes scanned the papers, one by one. Color drained from her face. Her lips trembled, trying to form words that wouldn't come. When she finally looked at me, her eyes were wet. You went through my—" "Yes," I said, calm. "Everything. I can explain—" "I don't need explanations." I watched her crumble in real time. Her body sagged against the counter. Tears came fast. Her hands trembled, reaching for me. But I didn't move. "Did you ever plan to stop?" I asked quietly. She shook her head. "It wasn't like that." I leaned forward slightly. "Then what was it?" Her silence was answer enough. That was the moment she realized I wasn't angry. I was finished. She would have preferred a shouting match, a broken glass, a slammed door. But instead, she faced something far colder: indifference. I reached into my pocket and placed the pepper spray on the table beside her. Her eyes flickered to it, confused. "You found what you needed in your bag," I said, "but you never noticed what I put inside." I stood, walked out of the room. Behind me, I heard her sob, the sound of someone realizing the game was over. The next day, I visited Hassan's office, not to fight, to deliver. I left a small envelope on his desk while his secretary was out. Inside, copies of their messages, photos, and one note. "She told me you were better than me. Prove it to your wife." No signature, just silence. When I walked out, I didn't look back. That evening, she called me, voice trembling. "Did you do something?" "I did what you didn't have the courage to," I said. "You ruined me," she whispered. "No," I said softly. "You did that when you stopped being honest." A long pause, the sound of her breathing, uneven, terrified. Then a whisper. "Do you hate me?" I thought for a moment. Then, "No, I just don't feel anything anymore." And I meant it. That was the true revenge. Not anger, not punishment, detachment. When someone loses your love and your rage, they lose all control. That's when they break. It's been 3 weeks since I walked out. She still calls sometimes. I never answer. The papers are ready. Divorce finalized. Assets split. Clean. Efficient. I see her sometimes from a distance. The life drained out of her smile. Her movements smaller, cautious, like she's afraid of her own reflection. I don't take pleasure in it, not anymore. Pleasure requires emotion. What I have now is peace. Cold, still, complete. I kept the pepper spray on my desk, a small reminder, a symbol of what she never saw coming. Trust isn't destroyed in a moment. It rots slowly from within, until one day you find the corpse of what used to be love. She thought she could lie, and I'd never notice. She forgot who she married. I don't chase storms anymore. I study them. And when I walk away, I leave nothing behind. Not love, not hate, not hope. Just silence. Because silence is the loudest truth.